we will learn about different ways to do a string formatting for strings. Typically, you need to print a message that involves values. Like, for example, let's say you would like to print something like please enter a number from 1 to 5. And let's say 5 is some menu choice for you. Like, you have a menu of 5 choices for the user. Or you would like to print a message like Mustafa, age is 33, and salary is 1000. We need 3 variables here, like Mustafa and the age and 1000. So far, we can use what we learned to do that already. But the Python is trying to provide you with different functionalities that make your life much easier. The string formatting is more about having some template or structure that make it easy for you. Historically, Python provided several methods. Back then to Python 2, there was the modulus operator, which is, in my opinion, a bit ugly. You should avoid it. But you should still learn about it because it will exist part of the some legacy code. It's also coming from C language, so if you move to C or coming from C, you should be familiar with it. The second thing is a replacements field, which is still very common in literature. I personally use it still a lot, but also you might avoid if you are writing something that seems so big for it. The third way, which is the way to go and the modern one, is what we call the F string. We'll know about all of these styles. I would like you to learn that Python has a lot of details about the string formatting. It is unhealthy to try to explain that early. So I'm going to highlight what is really very common in industry, but in the future I would like you to come back and read that here. I would like to also provide you with a tab. A lot of the syntax of this session and the next two will be very similar. It isn't good to stop to wait for the end. Please, one by one, stop the video and try what I learned you so that you can feel and contrast one approach with another or one syntax with another. Let's go. Let's first of all show how can we do things in the old way. If you have 3 variables or 2 like name and age, and you would like to print something like Mustafa is 33 years old, you can do something like Mustafa, is, age, years old. Or you can write a single message like concatenation name plus is, but you put spaces by yourself here. Age is an integer, you cannot just concatenate it. So let's cast it to string and years old. This is the old way. I'm going to show you the replacement fields first, which is number 2, then the F string, then the modulus operator style through these 3 videos. The replacement field is as following. We create what we call a template. So see here this message. We have a string and we have here 2 curly braces and here 2. And then we call a function named that format function. We will use it a lot. And then format function is passed the 2 parameters. What's going to happen is as following. The format function will replace the first curly braces here with name and replace the second curly braces here with age. This is how the replacement will happen. If you look to it, you feel it much more like I would say nicer than that. It's a bit verbose, but still much more nicer than that. Observe here, if you provided for example something like 3 curly braces here, and then you provided only 1 item, you will get an error because you need to provide at least 3 arguments here. However, if you have 3 curly braces and you provided more than 3 items, that's okay, they will just be ignored. It's better definitely to provide exactly the same number of items. It's a bit tricky and useless also if you'd like to print just the curly braces, but just in case, if you print curly cases, it will print it. If you printed 2 of them, it will be printed it. If you'd like to print an item with a single curly braces around it, then you can use 2 extra parentheses. The one in the middle will be replaced with hey. The other 2 here and here will be converted to a single one. You can try more than that, but it will be very confusing for you, so do not do that. All of the cases from line 18 is rarely needed in the literature, but I'm just want to tell you what happens if you try to add more and more nested curly braces this way. But anyway, it is useless. There is also a second way to do the replacement fields. which is by providing some indexing or like a positional arguments here. If you give here an index 0 and an index 1 inside the arguments here, what's happening is this guy will be replaced with the index 0 and this guy will be replaced with index 1. So far so good. If you try to provide some index like 2 and there will be no index 2 here, it will provide you with an index error. Now what is the advantage of this approach? If you are going to need the same parameter, the same argument several times, this one is the way to go. For example, let's say here I'm saying something is something years old dot are you some 1 years old as 0. Now every 0 will be replaced with name, every 1 will be replaced with age. So this 0 and this 0 will both replace with Mustafa, and this one and this one will be replaced both by age. So this is the advantage of using the indexing this way. So this is a positional argument here. In formatting, you can also pass the keyword arguments. For example, you can here have like a name is age years old, are you age years old, and then provide name with name and age. I'm passing here capital letter just for educational purposes, age equal age. So this is exactly like the positional argument style, like it can refer to multiple things in one way, but remember that the keyword arguments are flexible in the order. You can provide name equal name, age equal age, or the opposite of that. Be careful overall from trying to mix one approach with another, like you have to make sense if this is going to work or not. For example, if I wrote here this is empty and this is age, then the empty is going to match the first one, which is here, and then this one will be taken from here. If you try to pass index 0, also it will match the same. If you try to pass something like age equal age in the name, this will give you the old error that we met before, like this is positional argument follows keyword argument, so it will not be okay. If you try to say print of 1 and age, but 1 here is for the age, but there is no 1 for a positional argument, so it will make an error. Overall, be careful when it comes to mixing what might work and what might not. This is just one visualization, if in case it will help. I'm here having a 0, 1, 2 as items, and we have 3 values. So the first value go to the 0, second value go to 1, and 2 go to this guy here. Before ending, I would like to show you one more thing here, but there are too many details really, but I don't want to really go that far in them. Let's say that you have a list and you will pass it as a keyword argument. You can actually write some complicated statements here. For example, I can say list of 0.upper here. What's going to happen is this will bring the forget about this line here, line 8. If you wrote a list of 0 and list of 1 and list of 2, it would actually copy them here. Forget line 11. Just here list 0 will bring list 0, which is Mustafa. List 1 will bring list 1, which is 33. List 2 will bring here the 1000. So it seems even if you are passing a parameter like a list, you can even make a very strong access to the members of it. That's all for now.